We're not going to sacrifice our quality for the volume. We're constantly doing planer checks. I think when you have a good bunch of employees that been here and you understand our goal as a team, and that's what I stress on the floor, is everybody working as a team to get what we need to get done on a daily basis, the best way we can, the quickest and the safest way. I think it is part of our culture here that if somebody sees something that's not correct, that they'll either tell me or they'll tell Jay, they'll tell a lumber inspector. Even the pilers, if they notice, okay, all of a sudden we're getting a wrong mark on the board, they'll tell the lumber inspectors and they'll make an adjustment on the computer. Through the process of even the new hires getting trained and being in a department for an amount of time, they even pick up on everything that we're trying to do as far as the quality, the amount that we can do, the changeover from one species to another. If we go from, say, hard maple to soft maple, we want to do it as quick and efficiently as we can to get on to the next species so we can coordinate for, say, certain grades that we need for a shipment. They've all been trained in-house for a certain amount of time, months, and they've all been to a short course. Basically, you start to use all that knowledge over time. It's a process. The more you do it, the more everything falls together, and with a matter of 3-4 months, you can get in and start grading and feel confident at what you're doing. We're in the dry department. Last scene before it goes to the customer. So we're going to do a final grade check. This board here, I'm looking at this face. I'm going to get a 1 common off of this board. I see a couple little minor defects. I flip it over. We have a good amount of wane running on one edge of the board. So my final inspection, I would pull this board, I would edge this edge, and I would upgrade this board to a select and better grade. This is another hard maple board, 8 foot long. Select and better face. You got a little bit of wane coming down on each edge here. Basically a no-brain upper grade select and better. Then here we're getting into what they call either a brown or a paint grade. Some of the customers will either stain or paint their product. So if I'm looking at this board, I see a nice uniformed brown, and basically it's exactly the same on this side. So this would actually make a select grade, and we'd grade this out as a select and better natural. Here we have another 8-foot board. It looks like 1 common on either face. The thing about this board, if you take off a foot, you make this a 7-foot board, you knock this off and trim it, you're going to get a 7-foot select and better. You got another paint grade. We're looking at this board. I see a couple minor defects up in the center. This is going to be grayed out 1 natural. Opposite side, knots go through pretty much the same. This board as it sits, I wouldn't do anything with it. I would let it go as a 1 common natural grade. This board got a little bit more going on. It's got a few knots. It's got some open bark pockets. So on this face, you got 2 defects right here. This face by itself would grade a 1 common. This face is going to be my grading face because it's the face with the least amount of units. So on this face, even though the backside's a 1 common, this is the face that we're going to grade, which is the poorer face. And in this case, the rip and the cross cut is going to grade out a 2A hard maple.